Now COVID-19 has become the next game changer, of course. Who's most resilient against the pandemic? Classical tour operator or the new world of operator and distributor and OTA promising unique and individual experiences as well? Let's have a test drive into a new world for tours, and let's introduce our roundtable. Welcome to Blaser. He's a managing partner and co-founder of Falkensteiner Ventures, and he's a former managing director of Thomas Cook International. We also welcome Luuc Elzinga. He's founder and president of Tiqets, OTA for events and attractions. We welcome Michael Frey, CEO of MTS Globe, much more than a hotel trading. He's a DMC, leading DMC based in Mallorca and with offices all over the world. And last but not least, we have Julian Weselek. He's the co-founder and co-CEO of Tourlane, a new high-style individual tour operator serving well-designed trips all over the world. So thanks for joining the show, gentlemen, and let's start with you, Luuc. You're founded in 2014, and so far straight growth has been probably the main experience for your company. And the lockdown came just after a powerful funding led by Airbnb and others. So what's now? Is survival the best investment for this, if I got it right, $60 million you got last year?
Yeah, I think, and thanks for having me. I think I've been born lucky. Closing such a round is maybe not luck, but of course timing, there's always a bunch of luck, and that means there's no direct financial issues on our side, and that makes, of course, the fact that I'm worried but not stressed. The fact that we are based in the Netherlands with great government support, and the fact, of course, that we are really focused on museums and attractions, which is the category that is rebounding really fast after, of course, a great decline almost towards zero. So I'm happy to be in the scene and having made these choices.
Thank you. Julian, you all in this panel, you are very special and unique, and I think we will work this out, hopefully. But you have something in mind with Luuc. You also get a funding short before COVID-19 arrives. You got 42 million euro by your seed investors, Sequoia, Holzbrink Ventures, and Spark Capital in 2019. And your mission at Tourlane always has to be to promote tailor-made individual trips, and you're investing strongly both into human capital so far and into new smart technology. Are those kind of investments still needed in times of mainly domestic traveling, I admit?
First of all, also thanks, Dirk, for having me here. It's my first time at Phocuswright, so I'm excited to be here. I think it was a quite similar situation for us than for Luuc. Yeah, we were lucky to first of all have the support from our investors and have had a financing round last year. So explaining a little bit to where we come from, I think helps to understand also the strategy. We founded Tourlane together with my co-founder, who are childhood friends who always love to travel very individually, but felt that the online booking experience was just a nightmare for the individual multi-week tours, where there was just no single place to go to, and it was a very time-consuming and nightmare experience. And that's when we kicked off Tourlane to say we want to solve this problem. So when we deep dived into the market, we realized that in the tour operating market, it's very much a pre-internet market structure with not so much digitization. So by delivering the customer experience we want to deliver, it was clear for us we have to invest a lot in technology. And this also holds true now during COVID. In that sense, we have always followed a kind of a split strategy, investing in growth and in revenues and understanding customers and customer needs, while building the technology to create a seamless experience. And even with COVID, we remain investing on the same tech level that we did pre-COVID, where we believe that for actually, it's kind of a double down decision now in tech, because Corona will be a catalyst for what Tourlane stands for, which drives the shift more towards online booking of tours, where tailor-made trips are much more relevant than the mass tourism hotspot trips, and safetiness, booking all out of one hand. So basically,
Julian,
yes.
in times of COVID-19, probably the travel landscape is getting smaller for your customer base as well. So what are you doing now? Are you shifting over to domestic travel? Do we need individual guidance from companies like Tourlane, or are there other more efficient ways to get this?
I mean, personally, I don't see Tourlane standing for a destination. I see Tourlane standing for a type of trip you want to do. And this is a multi-week, very personalized, authentic trip, where obviously you don't need Tourlane when you want to book your one flight, one hotel. There's no problem in this market. It's great online, where we do serve European, we do already serve European countries like Iceland, like Ireland, and we'll continue extending it. But for us, it's not so much the question if it's the destination. It's more kind of what type of trip do customers want, and we continuously continue to build out the destinations we are able to offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blaser, you have made the shift from international tours to rather domestic trips. Just before COVID-19, you had been a long time part of the management board of Thomas Cook, and now you're a VC. You had the VC arm of Falkensteiner Hotels, and you're launching several companies, but you just launched one called Travel League, which is a tech-based tour operator platform for individual car holidays. Is this the right thing to go in moments like this, and also in long time, or what's your best investment at the moment?
Well, good question. Good question. I think we hit the worst possible point in time to announce this investment. That was really in the week of actually where travel stopped worldwide. But we also did not invest. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
We also did not invest really in a tour operator, but we invested in brilliant people. People which we knew before, people which we knew they know the market very well, and they also knew how to do that, and they always had a different view on tour ops and tour operating. And it was quite amazing to see that they've been able to build their MVP, their out of the box one box tour operating system in just 9 months. And they have launched their business operations now, and we are quite happy to see the first bookings coming in. And obviously also a big advantage has been that this team has always been in, let's say, in domestic travel, in European holidays, so not so much into flight package holidays. So I guess they know what to do. That looks pretty promising, I would say.
Where do you see the future of classical tour operating, Beat? You worked for decades in this sector. What's your perspective on this?
Well, as I just said, in my old world, we have had hundreds of systems which you needed to have, and they needed to speak to each other. Now, Travel League seem to be able to work with just one, which they have built from scratch, and that also is a lot of efficiency gains and a lot of more data-driven tour ops. Less brochure printing tour ops, and I guess that's the way to go. So provide the best possible product at the right time, the right price, availability, and provide just an excellent customer service.
As easy it is, but coming back to the classical tour operators, in Europe they serve generations of travelers with unique and structured experiences, and quite often they are powered by MTS Globe in the background as one of the leading destination management companies in Europe. And without doubt, the local experiences of companies, DMCs like MTS Globe, will always be needed. But will traditional tour operators be left behind, or will they find new purposes? Michael Frey, what is your opinion on this?
So we are mostly in sun and beach destinations, and I think it's a great chance for the tour operators, because the last years They invested more in content, like flights and nice hotels, yeah. And we saw Sami Saviris before from Egypt, owning the biggest hotel chain and one of the best in Egypt. And we realized this year when the restart started that the people valuing service more, and they don't want to be left alone anymore in the destination in these uncertain times. So if tour operators or dynamic packagers or whomever is selling trips in the internet, yeah, is investing in service, the customer really values it. And we are doing a little bit more than only tours. For us, is a tour when a customer arrives to the holiday destination, including the transfer and the experiences, as it's named today, or the excursions. And the challenge is, or what better can happen to you if some professionals worked out a hygienic, safe journey for you. And the challenge is, and therefore we are always locally present, is it's not only using a mask on the airport where we distribute masks to all our customers up on arrival, but you have to accompany the whole customer journey, and you have to stay safe the whole customer journey. And there is the experience that you really need to lead the customers after several days in the destination when they met other people, and when, let's say, the attention, yeah, of this COVID infection this year get lost. So I think it's a great chance, yeah, to focus again on service of the customers. They don't want to be left alone.
Michael, you just mentioned Sami Saviris. You just stated in our interview that the tour operator are probably the most efficient way in distributing holidays. To all of you, do you agree or do you disagree, and why? I believe we start with Luuc.
Well, I think I disagree as a statement that it's the perfect distribution platform. I think, several people, several segments know their ways to book their holidays, individual or via tour operator. But I think it's obvious that it's going online and more online, as there's more choice, more ways to discover, etc. And if it comes to tours and activities, I think there is a trend which we've seen for years, that people also want to have the independency of not booking everything 3 months ahead, maybe the flight and the hotel, but depending the state of mind, depending the weather, they want to decide at the moment in destination what they want to do. And they are willing to pay even a premium if it's something which has limited availability. And I think that's much more the thing where it's going towards.
Julian, what's your opinion? Is classical tour operating most efficient, or is it something else?
I mean, I do agree when it comes, definitely do agree when it comes to holiday trips. Yeah, I do see that a lot of efficiency gets lost when booking kind of the 15, 20 pieces of your trip, yeah, of your coherent trip at different sites. I mean, there is a misconception, I think, that for the online booker, that if I book at a single site, a single item, yeah, that's the cheapest way for me. But I do see a lot of, or I know there's a lot of efficiency gains when bundling the trip, yeah. Not only when it comes to price, but also by the level of customer service you can put on top, because you know the entire customer journey from A to Z, yeah, which gives us totally different possibilities than just if the customer will be on day 5 or in front of the Eiffel Tower. So I do agree, yeah, when it's just about booking one single hotel, yeah, I also do think there's no more efficient way than just going to booking OTA and do it there.
By the way, gentlemen, what is the future of mass tourism? We're talking a lot about individual tours, about individual designing, about in-destination experiences. But yeah, do we will see a recovery of mass tourism, for instance, in the Mediterranean Sea when COVID-19 turns away?
Well, I obviously do hope so for all of the colleagues who are in that business, and as it is such an important driver of the local economies as well. But equally, I guess we will also see a redistribution of customers going to different places or going into camping, glamping, RVs, campers, etc. But let's not call it mass tourism, but volume tourism hopefully comes back. Sure.
Mm-hmm. And it's all a question of safety in long term, or what do we have to do before we see more confidence and trust into classical beach destination holidays? Michael, what has to be done to see a full recovery in this market?
I think the first thing is we have next year to motivate the clients to book again, and this we can only do if we educate the client in the right way and take the fear from him away of traveling and infecting himself or that other things happened. I think the mass tourism will come back a little bit different. Maybe the people don't want to go anymore, or this we are realizing, to the most busiest points of interest. Yeah, so the demand in terms of experience and tours has changed. This we realized already, and we adapted the tours we are let's say producing ourselves. Furthermore, in our destination, it's always a question of logistics. Yeah, in many of the sun and beach destinations, it's you need to be picked up in the hotel to get your points of interest. And again, there we see a trend to smaller vehicles.
How much of the journey will be contactless when it's about tours? Is it already safe to get day tours without contact tickets?
Yeah, well,
with us. Sure.
Luuc, you can start, please.
Well, we founded Tiqets with the idea of having everything mobile, right? So that's already contactless. So I think, there is, if you talk about the fear of contact, I think if people already go in destination, the fear is much less. And with that, I think there's much more work to do on a country level and governments who we can trust and who are consistent, then that we really need to take people with the hand and give them every 10 minutes and let them wash their hands. I think that's something we are used to. The problem is much more how we get them in the plane again, because that's much more a thing of trust. Do I get my money back? Do I need to stay in quarantine, etc.? And there is much more, I think, the fear than the thing of contactless, and because if you look at people around, and even in my office, where I think only 10% of the people are in the office, everybody stays away from each other until 5 o'clock, and then the 1.5 meter is suddenly 1 meter, right? And that's of course something we really trying to stay away of, and happy that only 10% of the people are in the office. But I think it's much more from that side than taking care of the in-destination safety measures. They are in place.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining our short trip into a new world for tours. I hope we get some inspiration, some ideas. For all of you, it was a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Thanks a lot.